Hello, everybody. So I got a fun fact for you. The first time I tried to record something, I actually got interrupted 3 times. Once by somebody at the door, second time by my cat, third time by my mom. And then I just kind of scrapped the recording at that point because it got kind of awkward. So I was going to read Patty Cakes too, but I don't have the time for that right now. I will read that next time. The other fanfiction I was considering reading was Enchanted Twilight. Why? Because it's Enchanted Twilight. That's the only reason why. Really. But instead, I'm going to flip a coin. I don't have a coin to it, but I'm going to roll this dice. If it gets a 1, a 3, or a 6, it's Patty Cakes 2. Got a 2. It's Enchanted Twilight. Just let me put on some music in the background, and we should begin. Putting on some Alice Cooper. Why? Because he's Alice Cooper. Oh, I got a question for you. Did he legally change his name, or what? Surprisingly very loud. One second. Turn this down a bit more. It has been a week since Twilight had been caught by Celestia using the what it needed. Spell on a Smarty Pants doll, causing half of Ponyville to crave it, culminating Celestia having to put a hoof and stop the chaos. And then Big Mac had a tea party with it. That was interesting, to say the least. Twilight walked through the door to jeers and laughter. She took her place at her desk amongst the other colts and fillies in Magic Kindergarten. I'm scared. I'm very scared about this. A teacher, Asteria, strode and had Twilight introduce herself amidst giggles and sneers from the class. And so began the first humiliating day back in Magic Kindergarten. This will not go well, not in the slightest. Twilight walked in the classroom, sitting down quietly. Some of the colts and fillies still giggled at the thought of an older pony in their midst. She then heard crinkles in the escaping air of thickly padded planks fall into seated positions. On either side of her, Mary and Winifred sat looking towards the front of the class and listening to Asteria's lesson and fell on stall training when Twilight raised a hoop to proclaim she was already perfectly stall trained. She was asked to the front of the class. Well, Miss Sparkle, perhaps you would like to demonstrate to the class how big girls use the toilet. Teacher giggled as her horn glowed in a plastic Fool's Potty seat materialized before Twilight. Panicking, she realized she was being asked to use the potty before the rest of the class. There is something wrong there. First of all, that's public exposure. Second of all, that's just wrong. It's like asking... I don't know. I just don't. It's like 2 girls, 1 cup right there. That's what that is. 2 girls, 1 cup. Oh, fuck. I fucking hate Pacepen. Here now? She asked it to the nods of her teacher. I can't. She stammered as she saw the potty starting to stand up before it disappeared from under her. Her fall cushioned by the crinkly padding of her diaper she was forced to wear. I have a question. Does she have the mentality of a child right now, or does she have the mentality of an adult? Whatever. As she looked up from her spot on the floor at the laughing children in the class, her homework on stall training landed on the floor instead of a red hoop showed she had failed. The notes scrolled on the page so that Asteria wanted to see her new student after class. Well, panicked as she tried to imagine what was in store. Why am I reading this? Twilight clocked, oh dear God, at Asteria's door and was called inside to her office. I've seen enough. I've read enough flop pictures to know where those are going. Twilight. Come in. We need to talk about your performance in class today. I'm afraid you set a bad example for the colts and fillies in my class, especially make them feel bad about still being in diapers. Some of them can't help it any more than you. Pews! Twilight looked insulted. I'm more than capable of controlling myself, Miss Asteria. She blurted out indignantly. Young lady, we treat our males with respect when I was your age. And don't tell me that isn't what I think it is. She poked a hoof towards Twilight's diaper, which was visibly damp. I hate myself. Twilight's heart sank. She didn't touch herself. Her hoof shot forward to cover the diaper. What the fuck is going on here? Why am I in a poorly written fan fiction? She managed to get out before Mysteria sounds like, "Don't worry, I don't judge you. Right now, but I will laugh my ass off when I tell my husband about this." Okay, now. Just a filly, after all. She smiled a motherly smile as she pulled the diaper from under her desk. What? Using magic to float it before Twilight. Twilight had never seen anything so entrancing as that lovely, puffy diaper as it danced before her. Her eyes spinning as her face broke into a big, goofy smile, looking with adoration at her favorite article of clothing. Why am I reading this? Fuck you, Die. I don't like you anymore. So, I have a question. Is she, does she have the mentality of a child right now? That's never really cleared up. I don't know. She willingly slapped back and allowed the teacher to change her diaper with a quick flick of her horn. Thank you, Miss Daria. I love my diaper. Okay, now she definitely has the mentality of a child, but when did this happen? What did Celestia do, exactly? I don't understand. Twilight beamed from her slouched position on the floor. Next morning, Mrs. Daria just left the classroom to check on this thing when a wide-eyed filly named Winifred leaned across her desk and whispered to her friend Marie. Giggling between themselves, they both turned to the somewhat goofy-looking Twilight. Hey, Twilight, how much do you like your diapers? Asked Marie, stifling a laugh as Twilight's ears flicked up there on her board. This much, she claimed as she wobbly walked to the center of the classroom, her face scrunched up in concentration as she swatted and proceeded to use her diaper, much to the amusement of the Colts and Phillies in the class. You hear the silence? These long gaps of silence? That isn't me doing something. That isn't me facepalming or anything. That's just pure confusion right there. For every second that you don't hear anything, that's just me wondering, why am I doing this? And hating myself for it, too. Oh, whatever. Rude noises emanated from her bottom as her horn glowed and started to write out how much she loved her diapers on the board. All was fun and games, till with a puff of magic, Mrs. Daria appeared at the front of the classroom with a look of disapproval on her face. Winifred and Marie! Oh wait, Winifred and Marie, you should be ashamed of encouraging your younger classmate. But I'm not younger. That's going to be my baby voice, Twilight. But I'm not younger. Yelled out Twilight as she stamped her hooves frustratedly. If anything, I'm older than you, Mrs. Daria. 34. Okay, god damn it, I'm having too much fun with this. Mrs. Daria, flick your bay back, right glowing, as the mayor's board flirt brightly. 2 views. 2 demerits appeared under Winifred's and Marie's names, and yet another for Twilight, who now had as many demerits as were allowed before most serious punishments were to be implemented. How and why? The story doesn't make any sense. It doesn't explain a lot of things. Young Philly, seems that you and I need to have another talk after class today. Lesson continued, as usual, and finished early to allow for changing of diapers for students that required it. Cough, Twilight. Twilight looked worried as Mrs. Daria clopped the door shut behind the other students, her horn glowing as she studied her book. Colton Philly Care of the Caring Mare. Twilight, I'm not sure whether being feminine is really for you anymore. Smiled a slight smile as the filly looked visibly excited. Am me allowed to graduate again? I don't remember what I was saying for her voice earlier, so that's going to be my voice for her. And, I'm probably just going to change it once, so I don't care. She was now bouncing in her seat excitedly. Maybe a year or two, sweetie. Pews! She smiled. At least we've had a small discussion with your daddy. Or after we've had a small discussion with your daddy. Mr. Sparkle came in through the school doors and passed along the halls until he reached the room labeled Nurse's Office. In other words, we couldn't think of a name for him, so we're just calling him Mr. Sparkle. Mr. Sparkle. Mr. Sparkle. Fun fact, Mr. Sparkle has actually been a joke between me and my family. for a long time now. I don't know why. I think it's from The Simpsons or something. I don't know. So, yeah. Upon heading inside, however, he was not expecting to see what he was seeing right now. Twilight. So I'm going to make him sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger, or how I say, Mr. Sparkle. He exclaimed, galloping over to his daughter, who was slumped on the floor, cutting her some fine stall, sucking a hoop as she looked about her. Dada, with big, unblinking eyes full of wonder. A lollipop lay nearby and seemed to be the culprit of the strange, sticky yellow gloop about her maw. What am I going to do with you, my silly little filly? This is stupid. You know, it's going to be titled Enchanted Twilight, the stupid way. He whispered reassuringly to the now cooing Twilight. As Mrs. Starry trotted into the room. Ah, Mr. Sparkle, I see you found Twilight. I'm glad you're here now, because we need to talk about your daughter's learning abilities. And the pews! What about them? Questioned the wary Mr. Sparkle. What about them? And what about these pews you speak of? Questioned the wary Mr. Sparkle, as he stroked his daughter's mane from her mouth. Well, as you can see, even standing on those wobbly little hoops is quite the challenge for Twilight now. I don't think she's setting the best example for other students in my class. Pews! So I think she'd benefit more from attending Magic Nursery School instead. Twilight's father looked crestfallen. He had high hopes for Twilight. But looking at her now, it did make sense. You know, my theory is this is what happened earlier. This is what happened when Twilight was beginning Magic Kindergarten. But it can't be, because Trixie's in the story. After all, with every hour, each magical spell she had cast clean her diaper was given less powerful and felt the ability to magic her way again. Herself, she has fully become the stinkiest student in school. Oh my. Oh, the story is described as kinky. I don't see how this is kinky. Oh, I love that word, kinky. Yeah. Oh well. Perhaps it was for the best. You don't have to go to kindergarten no more? She babbled to Mrs. Saria. Nope, you just rest your silly little head, and I'm sure your daddy will take you home to mommy for some nice nummies and a nap. Fuck, I gotta think of something for friggin' Mrs. Sparkle. Mrs. Saria seemed almost seemed happy at Twilight's father understanding. It had been a while since he had his little girl back. Perhaps it would be like old times when she used to spend more time with her parents. However, as the spot occurred, he began dreading the looming diaper duty that would undoubtedly follow. Oh, she's so cute! What the fuck did I just do? Oh, she's so cute. She's so kawaii, desu. Yes, I'm making her an otaku. So shut up. Mrs. Sparkle screamed over her now infantile-minded daughter, who had days ago been the princess's protege. Think about this. We have weird-ass Twilight, German Mr. Sparkle, and otaku Mrs. Sparkle. I love this. This is great. She now sat in her puffy diapers all looking for it. I can't believe how much I've missed having our daughter at home. It's just so kawaii. Desu. Just like Lucy from Alpenlied. Oh god, I hate myself. Oh wait, shit, that was Mr. Sparkle. I can't believe how much I've missed having a daughter at home, said her father as he trotted into the room next to get to work on Twilight's nursery. After a while, though, it became obvious that there was too much work to be done in the nursery for one lone pony, so the couple decided to get a babysitter to come care for the newly little filly. A short time later, the doorbell rang and stepped in Trixie, the gay and pitiful Trixie. Okay, now, stepped in Trixie, the great and powerful babysitter. There's our card now read. Hello, Mr. and Mr. Sparkle. Me and your daughter are old friends, so I know you're going to get along just fine. I can't tell if I'm making her sound like a ghoul or Batman. Oh, that's so good to hear! Because we really need to get our sweet little Twilight nursery together before nap time so I can go watch anime! It's good to hear, because we really... Oh wait, shit. At this, Mrs. Sparkle joined her husband in the next room, laughing and messing around as they were on the new nursery. In the meantime, Trixie sat by Twilight. It was waving a hoop at her face. You really are all being fine, aren't you, Twilight? By now, Trixie was grinning as she took out the pureed rhubarb. The fuck is that? Baby food. And magic a spoon in, deliberately messily feeding Twilight. She sat on the floor. Because I'm an asshole. Twilight's sword now shrunk from lack of use, glowed dimly as her earlier magic spells started to renew themselves. Her diaper rapidly expanded with days of magic away messiness. Come on. It was filling up like a balloon, causing Trixie to laugh merrily. This brought the attention of Twilight's mother.
Oh, what's going on in it? Oh my, it seems we have a little filly in here, just like about Japanese anime.
Oh, I hate myself.
Just like Trunks from Dragon Ball.
Mrs. Sparkle complained as she ruffles her goofy-faced daughter's mane.
I'm going back to the nursery. To go watch some anime. Be a dear, Trixie, and see to Twilight's dreadlock diaper. I'm afraid you won't be able to repeat the magic, but it's pretty quiet death if you'd ask me, so just clean it manually, okay?
I'm just butchering this as much as possible, honestly. And with that, she trotted off to help decorate the other room, leaving Trixie to deal with Twilight's prominent accent. Ew, this is really friggin' gross. I'm Batman. I shouldn't be babysitting. Your mother should really be doing this, actually. But I'm guessing I'm in charge while she's away. Right, Twilight? Trixie's horn glowed pink as she aimed at the filly's diaper. She had her eyes concentrated as she tried to magic away the mess, going as Mrs. Twilight device. If anything, more mess was made, making the diaper even worse. Oh darn, that didn't go planned at all. Well, I guess I'm gonna change the old-fashioned way, just like Batman would. So, I'm going to do a Peter play, or I'm going to do a play. Instead, everybody is Batman. Okay, go. And I'm playing everybody here. I don't know. I don't know how I'm going with this. I really don't. Process was almost done. Twilight's bottom cleaned, wrapped in a new diaper. Aww. She was concentrating on the new task on hand as she levitated the pail to catch the filthy diaper when suddenly something sticky hit her maw. She instinctively licked her lips and tasted something sticky and sweet. She looked down to see Twilight smiling goofily. She magged the spoon into her Trixie's mouth. Twilight, no! I'm Batman! She screamed. But it was too late. Having planted the enchanted rhubarb lollipop in the kindergarten near his office, she was sure she had effectively regressed Twilight back to being no threat at all. But even in this diminished state, she was still causing trouble. After she thought about this, she could feel her thoughts slipping away and focusing more on dollies, cartoons, and diapers, to the point that she subconsciously was starting to unpack a fresh diaper and was even starting to diaper herself. And then she thought about Robin and Batgirl, and then she wondered how she would explain it to them. Okay, now. A whinny of panic escaped her maw. Honey, those girls are being awful quiet in there, don't you think? Mrs. Sparkle brought up the subject carefully to avoid overworking his nice wife needlessly.
Oh, it's nothing, sweetie. They're still having a fun time. Like they're at hot springs in one of my animes. Anyway, didn't the babysitter say they were old friends? Because that's pretty kawaii.
I'm sorry for anyone who gets offended by this, but I'm having fun with it, and I'm a nerd, honestly. I mean, I'm reading this for you guys, so. Said Mrs. Sparkle, her horn glowing brightly as she put the finishing touches on the career while Twilight's father applied the final coat of paint to the new nursery to make it look kawaii. I don't know who's saying this, so I'm just going to assume it's Mr. Sparkle. But
this nursery is even going to be better than I first, I think.
Both parents perked up at hearing the strangely goofing laughing coming from each stranger. It wasn't coming from their beloved big baby. And he could only belong to
Trixie, darling, what are you doing in there? Because it doesn't sound very quiet. Well, actually it does, but what are you doing?
Mrs. Sparkle stopped speaking abruptly as she left her in the nursery and came face to face with Trixie, a spoonful of rhubarb dripping from her maw.
Trixie going potty!
Or rather, Trixie going potty! She announced, bending at the front, lifting her flank as her tail flagged high, allowing her to deposit her yummy meal into her fresh padding. I didn't understand. Mrs. Sparkle tries to Trixie's trunk. She opened it to check for contact details to alert Trixie's friends or relatives that she didn't regress. She came upon belongings that had uncanny resemblance to those of that arrogant pony who strode into Ponyville a few months ago and tried to usurp her daughter as the best of magic and all Equestria.
Oh, it seems our little babysitter isn't very kawaii at all, because she's airy and a liar, which isn't kawaii. Well, actually, it's kawaii in its own way.
Mrs. Sparkle said, raising an eyebrow, she moved the trunk out of sight, calling her husband out to come and help deal with the filly. Trixie Poopy! Trixie Poopy. I'm Batman. Twilight saying out as her hoops scrabble on the floor for stability. Her face crunching as she was trying to learn the potty. All shamed from doing this in front of a possibility she didn't know had left her a long time ago. She was now content to do this in front of her parents. Ruby covered her mom, bib courtesy of her mother, who was still hiding the fact that she was keeping the only child of the family in diapers. Okay. Prattled Trixie, her drool-covered sticky maw flapping, only while licking her lips happily. A pleasantly goofy expression on her face showed the amount of roobery she was being fed, effectively doing its job.
I'm so freaking kawaii happy we were forced to adopt Trixie. She's the perfect sister for Twilight, don't you think?
Mrs. Sparkle asked her husband. I admit, Twilight looks much cuter now. She isn't asking 100 questions and creating us on knowledge.
But you won't be saying that when it's your turn to diaper duty.
You kawaii man of you, responded. Pretty soon, Twilight had gotten comfy in her new potty care, and she was happily rigging herself straight into the comfy confines of the diaper she had picked up. Perhaps it's a little too soon for potty training for the girls. The parents giggled to themselves as they watched the girls play together all the way to bedtime. I hate myself. I really do. I hate myself for I hate myself for doing that, but at the same time, it was a lot of fun. I'm pretty much just going to join my family right now. If you liked it, subscribe. If you liked it, leave a like. I don't care what you do, honestly. I hope you all enjoyed it. I gotta go. I hope you all enjoyed Mrs. Sparkle being the Otaku, Mr. Sparkle being German, or whatever the fuck that is. And I don't know about all the other guys, except for Trixie, who was Batman. Yeah, anyway, that's it for me. See y'all next time, which will probably be Patty Cakes 2 or My Little Alicorn Part 2. Either way, or tell. Hope y'all enjoyed. Goodbye.